One that you see pulling out on the track now, they're going to have a trio of qualifying heat races. Then it'll be a couple of heats for the Fastline Performance Limited Sportsman and Fond Fair 4-cylinders. And the All-Star Slingshots will break them up into 2 heats, and the Junior Slingshots will break them up into 2 heats. 2 heats, not so many cars, should roll along pretty smoothly there on the inner oval, which again is going to be utilized for Wednesday night competition on select Wednesdays. First one being May the 22nd. And that's when we'll be running Slingshots, Predator karts, Wayne Champ karts on the inner oval on a Wednesday night. That's actually what this original inner oval was intended for. was Matt Caprera with the number 11. The 1X machine, of course, Willie Decker. That number's been associated with him for a good number of years here in Utica-Rome. Alan Barker coming by with the number 77 machine. Also out on track in that session was the number 23. That's Brandon Laux from Bainbridge. That's Jim Gould's 28G going by. The number 96 rolling through as well. As that group heads over into the pit area, the next group of Three Bastards Brewing Modifieds make their way out on the racing surface here. Now, coming down the front straightaway, there's the number 97, Bobby Hackle IV, the Killer Crate sponsored machine. Behind him, the Smithside Development 91, that is the Franklin Flyer himself, Billy Decker. The 97S, the black machine, is Randy Chantel. The number 19 machine, that's Justin Wright. The FX Cabrera 34, that is Kevin Root. And here comes the 84Y, Alex Yankowski, as he rolls by. Stuart Friesen with the Hallmark number 44 on hand tonight, along with Rocky Warner. Checker coming out for the second group of our Three Bastards Brewing Modifieds. And Three Bastards Brewing from right down the street here on Route 5 in Vernon is again proud to be the sponsor of the modified division here. They have some really good food and beer options and combinations that if you try them once, you will be hooked. Head there hungry, you will leave happy. Find Three Bastards Brewing on Facebook and you can learn more about them. We also had our hot laps for our Next Generation Graphics Pro Stock category. Next Generation Graphics, multimedia production and design. They do vinyl printing, banner making. Heck, they made a lot of the signs that are here at the track. They do glasscapes, vehicle lettering, decals, and much more. You can find them on Facebook as well. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that, can y'all hear me better now? Okay, sorry. I'm running things a little hotter than usual. That's okay, though. All right, out on track right now, these are your competitors in the Fastline Performance Limited Sportsman Division, getting their hot lap sessions for the evening. All right, that'll put the wraps on our Fastline Performance Limited Sportsman for tonight as far as our Hot Lab sessions go. Fastline Performance, a full shock repair center in Chadwicks. Whether you've got Fox, Penske, Dig, Bilstein, Integra, doesn't matter. They can work on them and make them work even better than they did when they first came out of the box. That's Fastline Performance. Fonda Fair 4-cylinders getting ready to roll out for their hot laps now. The 2024 Fonda Speedway season kicks off next week. The 2024 Fonda, well, actually kicks off tomorrow night, I should say. But the 2024 Fonda Fair, that'll be August 28th through September the 2nd. TheFondaFair.com is where you can find out all the up-to-date information on the attractions and activities of the upcoming Fonda Fair. So our 4-cylinder competitors making their way out, and then we'll hit the inner oval for the slingshots in the All-Star and Junior divisions. All-Star is the adult class, and Juniors are the youth class for our slingshot competitors. All running pretty much identical slingshots built out of the Tobias Speed Shops out of Lebanon, Pennsylvania. So we mentioned here at Utica-Rome, we've got some big stuff planned in the month of May. First appearance of the M2 Metal LLC crate late models will be coming up next Friday. I think that is the first time the crate late models will have turned a wheel here at Utica-Rome since the days of the Go Nuclear late model series, because I remember shooting that for television here a few years ago. I guess I'm showing how old I am. And, of course, May 17th, that is just 3 weeks away. The Double Down presented by Scenic View Campground, Christian Fabrication of Brodell Energy, the first appearance in the Mohawk Valley area of the Kubota High Limit Sprint Series. Big bucks, big 410 sprint cars, and the action will be big as well. $12K on the line for the winner of that. And the Three Bastards Brewing Modifieds will have a race program on that Friday night, May the 17th. You will definitely want to get here early. I have a feeling that space will be at a premium. group to hot lap here, and that'll be our all-star and junior slingshots. They'll get a couple of quick hot laps on the inner oval, and then we'll be ready for our opening ceremonies. We're ready to get the program underway for you here this evening at Utica-Rome. So if you want to grab yourself some food or beverage down in the concession area, now would be a good time so you don't miss a minute of the racing action that'll be getting underway here in a little less than 10 minutes. Well, once again, on behalf of promoter Brett Deo and all the cast of characters here. Hey, wait a minute, I just cribbed somebody else's line when I did that. Oh, well. Welcome to Utica-Rome Speedway, the home of heroes. I am Cowboy Paul Small playing Super Sub tonight, while Chris Moore is down in Delaware working with our friends at Flo with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. It is an honor and a privilege to be here to describe the action for you this evening. At this time, I'd ask you all to please rise if you'd be so kind, and please remove your hats. And before we pay tribute to our flag and our nation, here is Greg with tonight's invocation.
Thank you. Life isn't easy. Jesus said, in this world we will have trouble, but I have come so that you may have life and life abundantly. But whoever believes in me before man, whoever denies me before man on earth, I will deny before my Father in heaven. So let's go to him in prayer. Gracious Heavenly Father, Father God, we just thank you for this beautiful day that we can just come together, Lord. We thank you here at the home of heroes, Utica-Rome Speedway, that you would be with us in this night, that we take a moment to recognize you. May you be each driver, crew, fan, and official, Lord. Protect us in this night. But most of all, Lord, we thank you for your love, for your mercy, and your grace. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
And please remain standing now as we pay tribute to the colors that never run, that never go quietly into that dark night, with the playing of our national anthem. And once again, welcome to Utica-Rome Speedway, the home of heroes. And so we'll be ready to go green next time around. So 2 heat races here for the Next Generation Graphics Pro Stocks. That'll be followed by a trio of heats for the Three Bastards Brewing Modifieds and Taylor's Trainers Crate 602 Sportsman. 2 heats of All-Star Slingshots, 2 heats in the Junior Slingshots, and then 2 heats of Fastline Performance Limited Sportsman, and Fun to Fair 4 cylinders will make up the qualifying portion. Tonight's race program. For those of you tuning in on FloRacing, we bid you a good evening from wherever you happen to be. Welcome to the Mohawk Valley of New York. It's going to be a clear and crisp evening, but we're going to turn up the heat here on track as we get ready to throw the green flag for the first qualifying event of the evening here for the Next Generation Graphics Pro Stocks. Hunter Keith on the inside, Ian Brissett on the outside as they'll come down into the start zone here between turns 3 and 4. Where that blue barrel is the power point. Green flag waves, and we are underway. From the outside into turns 1 and 2, Brissett's going to grab the early advantage. Here comes Walters running top lane, and we've already got him doing a 2-car tango over in turn 2 as the pole sitter Hunter Keith unfortunately has a meetup with the 28G of Gus Gould, and that will bring the caution flag out over the field. So it takes 2 turns to get to the first caution of the evening. So the field will be rolling around single file till we get everything situated over here. Doesn't look like heavy contact, but that 14 did get pushed sideways for a little bit there after it got out of shape. So safety crews are on their way over there. They're going to suss out the situation. And once these cars are ready to be moved, we'll get them back on the racing surface. Here's your Insinger Performance replay. You can see, for those of you watching on Flow, where the 14 a little out of shape, then there was contact with the 28G, and that lifted up the back end, then the left side of the 14 of Keith. So he was actually riding the bike there for a little bit. Pretty lucky that the outside edge of the right side tires didn't dig in and wind up turning him over. And they came to rest up against the Tory tire there on the inside of turn number 2. So the field pacing around here, double file formation. No laps officially completed yet. Once again, if you've got the My Race Pass app on your phone, you can follow along with the lineups and live timing and scoring, live count, et cetera, et cetera. We did have a malfunction in our scoring pylon over there in turns 3 and 4, so our apologies for the inconvenience on that. Brett Belton pulling out a line here with number 81. Not quite sure why or what might be going on there, but he might be headed pit side with that car. Yeah, that right rear doesn't look so hot. Now, fortunately, a little bit of an extended yellow here while they try to figure out how to separate these 2 cars over here in turn number 2. And then we should be ready to get back underway. By the way, I want to give a shout out to some great friends of ours at the FX Caprera Car Companies, their Honda and Kia dealerships in Watertown, the Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealership in A Bay, FX Caprera Ford in Ogdensburg, as well as Caprera Harley Davidson motorcycles and trailer sales in Adams Center, as they provide the pace truck for our Thunder on the Thruway series, which kicks off in 2 weeks' time. That'll be on Friday night, May the 10th. $4,000 to win for the mods, $1,500 to win for the Great Sportsman, $1,000 to win for the Pro Stocks, plus your other regular Utica-Rome Speedway divisions. And again, May 17th. Clear your docket. Wipe out your calendar on your phone. You're not doing anything that day except coming to watch the Kubota High Limit Sprint Car Series. plus the Three Bastards Brewing Modifieds here at Utica-Rome Speedway. That is going to be a show if some of the early season races have been any indication. And it looks like we may have found the next great young sprint car ace by the name of Corey Day, who has just picked up a couple of wins in their midweek money series that they've been running the past couple of Wednesdays. That's why they're actually off this weekend. They've run a couple of midweek shows in their calendar, but they will be here on a Friday night for you again on May 17th, just 3 weeks away. So while we're waiting out the situation, trying to get these cars separated, for those of you on FloRacing, we're going to step aside here at Utica-Rome. Well, after a yeoman's effort over there in turn number 2, the Hunter Keith and Gus Gould cars have been separated. You can see the body damage done to the left side of the Hunter Keith machine as they separated those two cars. They were actually hooked in there pretty good, hence the delay here. And obviously, when you have a situation like this, you're trying to be able to get the cars apart to get them back to the attention of the crews in the pits without doing any more damage to the cars than the accident already did. So both of these cars are going to go off on the hook. Brett Belden, meanwhile, went into the pit area. They checked over all four corners of that car, and he has made his way back out to rejoin for the restart. No laps complete here in the first of our two heat races for the Next Generation Graphics Pro Stocks. And tonight, and any night that there is a race here at the Utica-Rome Speedway, and when we have quiet moments like this, it's always good to give a shout out to our 50-50 ticket sellers that are making their way through. Look at it this way, better odds than down the street at Turning Stone or at Vernon Downs Casino, because it only costs you $1 and you got a shot at winning half the pot that we collect. The other half goes to the driver's point fund that these guys and gals shoot for at the end of the season. So if you're not that much of a gambler, you can just spend $1, or you can, get the set, as I say, any color ticket that's available. Give yourself a better chance on winning. And, of course, it's a progressive jackpot. That means the more you play, the more it's going to pay. All right, so we're back underway here. Sans a couple of cars. The 5B of Ian Brissett will make the re-rack here, along with Walters in the 22, who was kind of trucking on the outside before the shindig happened on the inside, so to speak. Jim Normoyle's 74N, Brett Belden's 81. They're going to be row number 2. And then you can throw the 15K of Keselowskis and the 28G of Gus Gould in row number 3. Gus did not get the worst of that deal in turns 1 and 2. It's some pretty serious damage done to the bodywork on the left-hand side of Hunter Keith's 14. So I have a feeling they're going to be going through a few rolls of racer tape to get that ready for our next generation Graphics Pro Stock feature coming up later on this evening. Some front end damage to the Gould number 28. That nose is kind of shoved in, but it's on the underside. That's going to push some air under the car, so it may start to develop a little bit of a push where the front end just doesn't want to bite going into the turns. And with these fiberglass composite style bodies, unfortunately, it's not a case where you can necessarily just stick a hammer to it and straighten it out back in the pit area. All right, so we'll take 2 on this one. 8 laps to run. Top 4 finishers will redraw for starting positions for tonight's Next Generation Graphics Pro Stock feature. So the field will come down to the start zone here in turn number 4. And the green flag waves, so we are back underway. And it's going to be Brissett on the inside, but on the outside, Walters will work his way up into the race lead. Belden stays down on the bottom coming off turn number 2 and pulls up alongside the Brissett machine in a battle for second as they shoot down into turns 3 and 4. Belden clears through into the number 2 spot, inside lane open. Normoyle is going to fill that lane now with the black number 74 X machine, and he'll pound his way up into the number 3 position. Gould right back there, one out of a redraw spot in 5th. Meanwhile, A.J. Walters trying to leg it out here and has opened up about a 4 or 5 car length gap as we watch this battle for that final redraw spot going down into turns 3 and 4. Gould in the yellow and orange machine showing no ill effects after the contact there on the initial green flag as he jumps his way up into that final redraw position. And as I say that, the announcer's curse rears its ugly head. He goes wide in turns 1 and 2, falls all the way back to the tail of the field behind Keselowskis in the number 15 machine. Meanwhile, the lead continues to be held by Walters. There's Jim Normoyle running in 3rd off turn number 2, the Chris's Collision sponsored machine. And you can see how the chassis of these Pro Stocks have now really started to advance. They have chassis rolls similar to what you used to see on the older modifieds and even the dirt late models and INCA style modifieds in the Midwest. Normoyle rolling off turn number 2 now and down the backstretch. Meanwhile, race leader A.J. Walters is making his way off turn number 4. And this time by, he'll complete lap number 5 of the 8-lap distance. So 2 to go signal will be coming up when they come by this time. So it's still Walters holding on to the lead with the 22. Belden with the 81 in 2nd. The 74 of Normoyle maintaining the 3rd spot. And Brissett in the 5B running in that 4th and final redraw position. About a lap and a half left to go. The Walters car tracks very smoothly there off turn 2. And he'll come around this time and see the, whoa, look out. A second time the announcer's curse has reared its head tonight. I got to stop talking good about people, apparently, because your race leader Walters just spun down to the inside at turns 3 and 4. And I don't know if that was an unforced error or a mechanical problem. He's got to turn back around, so. Walters getting the 22 refired. Looking at the Insinger performance replay to see exactly what happened here for AJ. And it looks like he just got maybe into the power a little bit too soon, spun those tires on the back, and it sent the car around on him. So that means that Brett Belden will now be a race leader. Norm Oil running in second. Brissett third. That puts Gould back into a transfer spot for the moment. So this will be a green-white checker finish with 2 laps left to go here, which means Walters has a chance to at least race his way back into the redraw. As again, the top 4 from each of the 2 Next Generation Graphics Pro Stock heat races are going to redraw for starting positions. So we hit the restart zone between turns 3 and 4. Pace picks up. Green flag waves with 2 to go. Belden from the outside will take the lead. Going down into turn number 1, Norm Oil tries to cut underneath, but the car pushes up. He'll slide into the second spot. Here comes A.J. Walters again with the number 22, trying to recoup some of that lost real estate here as he works his way around Brissett. Now sets his sights on Gould. Coming off turn number 4, this would be a pass for the third spot here as they come onto the white flag. Walters will carry the momentum there. Gould with a big push. Front tires were just plowing on that car going through turns 1 and 2. Meanwhile, Bretsky making his way down here through turns 3 and 4, and he is going to pick up the victory here in our Next Generation Graphics Pro Stock first team race of the evening. Norm Oil will finish second, Walters third. Gould will complete the redraw cars with the 4th, followed by Brissett in 5th, and Kazalaskis in the number 6 position. Next Generation Graphics, the multimedia and production design business. They do vinyl, they do banners, glasscapes, vehicle lettering, decals, and a lot more. Next Generation Graphics. Check them out on Facebook. Ready for our second qualifying heat now for the Next Generation Graphics Pro Stocks. Lined up for this one, Vernon's Toby Cooper brings the 4C inside the front row, and on the outside out of Waterville, veteran George Cushman driving the number 13 machine. He's driven a little bit of everything, including spending some time, I believe, running the what used to be the ARCA Remax series and what is now the ARCA Menard series. Tim Wood from Vernon was your quick timer in practice earlier. He'll pull the 22 car inside row number 2. Mike Keith out of North Brookfield with the 14K outside row number 2. Ed Kateri, there's another familiar name if you've been a Utica-Rome fan, even going back to the asphalt days. The 101 starts inside row number 3. Johnny Holmes with a 28 out of Oneida starts outside. And then Mike Oxett from Gloversville will bring the 81A to post in the 7th and final starting position. Drivers have been told by race control to expect to start here coming off turn number 4. And they hit the start zone. Green flag waves. And everybody's sleeping except for Tim Wood. He saw it first. He gets to the flag first. And into the lead through turns 1 and 2. Cooper in that gold number 4 battles it out with Cushman's red and white 13 as they battle for that second spot down into turns 3 and 4 here at the conclusion of lap number 1. So as they come down across the line, it is Wood holding on to the race lead. Cushman completes the pass on Cooper for the number 2 spot. And Kateri with the 101 right now holding off the number 28 machine of Holmes in a battle for that final redraw position. That's starting to get a little tighter, though, behind this race here for second and third. Here comes that 28 on the inside off turn number 4. Holmes looking for a redraw spot here. Drag races Kateri going down into turn number 1. Gets the car to rotate nicely off the bottom of the corner, and he'll pick off the number 4 position and now sets himself in pursuit of the gold number 4, Cooper, up in turn number 3. Lead continues to be held by Tim Wood in the number 22 as he works off the second corner here. Hasn't had a chance to get the full decaling on the car just yet, but one thing you know is it's fast because it's at the front of the field, and he's holding on to a pretty comfy lead. Now a three-way battle for second developing behind him, coming down here to the cross flags. Here comes Holmes looking to go high and then low in turns 1 and 2. Cooper is into it a little bit too hot, tags the Tory tire, and that will bring the caution flag out here for the first time in this one with 4 laps remaining. Now business definitely picked up all of a sudden. Holmes went down to the inside off turn number 4. Cooper was man in the middle with Cushman running topside. And as they went into turns 1 and 2, Cooper got past high and low, and I think was trying to stay with him and just overcooked it in the Yurkovitz Auto Crusher sponsored car. Fortunately, no contact made with the Tory tire or any other car. So he'll be able to roll in and tag up at the back of the field for the restart. They are going right into double file formation here, and we're going to get ready for the green. Getting ready to hit the restart zone. Leader fires first, has the option of starting on the inside or the outside. Wood elects the outside, waits all the way till the end of the box before he mashes the gas, and we're 3 wide again for second this time, going into turns 1 and 2. Holmes digging on the bottom. He and Kateri do the high-low split of Cushman to move up into second and third, but now Cushman trying to give a comeback move, but to his inside, here comes Michael Oxett with the 81A, the orange and black car, working side by side with the 13, and we've got the 4 of Cooper doing another looper, this time in turns 3 and 4, and the yellow will wave for a second time with 5 laps now complete. And I see a little bit of fluid underneath the back end of that Yurkovitz Auto Crusher's number 4 machine, so not sure what that fluid is. Looks like it might just be water. That would be the hope, of course, and not oil or fuel or transmission fluid or any of that fun stuff. All right, so we'll double them back up here. 5 complete, 3 to go. Wood again has the option of choosing the inside or outside lane for the restart. Elects to go outside, and that puts Johnny Holmes alongside him in the orange and white number 28. Kateri in third, Oxett in fourth, followed by Cushman and the number 14K of Mike Keith. Cooper tagging up at the back of the field here with 2 strikes against him. Wood fires a little earlier this time, trying to catch Holmes off guard. The gambit works. He gaps out by about 3 car lengths here on the takeoff into turns 1 and 2. Oxett going upstairs here to go around Kateri for the number 3 spot as they'll work down the backstretch. And now here comes Cushman on a run, trying to get a wheel up alongside Kateri. They'll battle for third going into turns 3 and 4. We're actually battling for that final redraw spot as we come to the 2 to go signal this time. Leader Wood back into turns 1 and 2, and that time Cushman had the number 4 spot in hand. As he works his way off turn number 2, he'll gap out on Kateri by about a car length and a half. Meanwhile, you've got Holmes giving chase to the race leader. He'll drop it downstairs on the 22 of Wood as they'll come to the white flag this time. Final lap in this Next Generation Graphics Pro Stock Heat Race. Holmes can get that car to work wicked on the bottom, but Wood's got momentum on the top side off turn number 2. Hangs on here by about half a car length as we come into the final couple of corners. He tries to come down and pinch the Holmes car down, but Holmes gets some bite coming off turn number 4, and that's going to be enough for the win. Margin of victory, 21/1,000ths of a second, and your winner is the 28 of Johnny Holmes in a photo finish. And that's only the second heat race of the night. So again, the top 4 finishers, Holmes, Wood, Oxett, and Cushman, all go to the redraw for starting positions for tonight's Next Generation Graphics Pro Stock feature. And we are getting ready for the trio of Three Bastards Brewing modified heat races. Those are coming up next here at Utica-Rome. Here's the lineup for our first qualifying heat. Scheduled to come from the pole, Wild Willie Decker with the 1X. Alan Barker 77 on the outside. Willie from right here in Vernon. Barker down in Norwich. Row 2 on the inside. Jim Gould out of Edmiston. That'll be the 28G. To his outside, Brandon Locks out of Bainbridge with that white and purple number 23. Third row on the inside, that's the JS98. That should be Rocky Warner from Johnstown. To the outside, the number 97. That's Bobby Hackle, the 4th from East Greenbush. And then the ageless wonder that is Pat Ward inside row 4 out of Genoa. To his outside is Jim Becker's 9J, and then the 7MM of Mike Maresca out of Potsdam. We'll round out the first of the 3 heat races here. Again, top 4 finishers will redraw for starting positions. Everybody else will fall in line as they finished in their heat races. Well, some trouble for Rocky Warner on the backstretch. That car came off of pit road there in turn number 2. Got about parallel with the American flagpole and then came to a stop. Safety truck is getting ready to administer a push if necessary here once the field clears by on the backstretch. By the way, I have been given word from the people above my pay grade that there will be no consolation races tonight. So we're going to run heats and then run features. Now, unfortunately, I don't think things are going Rocky Warner's way right now. And I don't know if he's going to need a tow or if they're just going to go ahead and give him a push back to the pits. You saw the push truck back up. What they were doing there was just kind of resetting to make sure that push bumper hits the race car bumper square and flush, because you don't want it to ride up over the back of it. We've seen that happen with push trucks with sprint cars from time to time. Hopefully that will not be the case when the Kubota High Limit Sprint Series is here on May 17th. So we'll do a little flip-flop and fly of our starting lineup with the absence of Rocky Warner, the JS98. Now, he will be able to start the feature event, but that'll be dependent on whether or not they can solve whatever mechanical ailment that car has. He would be able to tag up at the back of the field. So, the white flag has waved. We're going to flip the caution lights off around the track here and then get ready to go with the first of our 3 heats featuring the Three Bastards Brewing Modifieds. Don't forget, for great beer and great, unique bar food to check out Three Bastards just down the street here on Route 5 in Vernon. All right, we are ready to get after. Oh, Rocky Warner's going to make the re-rack here. Just barely. That's good news. Better news, we are green. First of 3 heats for the Three Bastards Brewing Modifieds. 8 laps, top 4. We'll go to the redraw, and it is not a good start to the heat race for Michael Maresca, as he's sitting out of the park here on the outside of turns 1 and 2. Yellow will wave. And I don't know if that car just kind of jumped out there or he had a little assistance in exiting stage right, so to speak. But looks like the car's in one piece and all good. So Maresca will cycle up to the back of the field. And we're going to try it one more time here off turn number 4 as they all get bunched. Get ready to hit the start zone. Decker on the inside, Barker on the outside. Hammer down, we're green. Nice move by Bobby. Hackle the 4th right out that get-go, and he'll throw it to the inside through turns 1 and 2, trying to pick off that number 2 spot as they chase Willie Decker. Here comes Rocky Warner making moves at the back of the field. Maresca looking to make some moves of his own as Willie Decker's car goes up the racetrack at turn number 4. He is off the pace with the stretches number 1X, and it looks like he is headed pit side. Meanwhile, Alan Barker holding on to the race lead going into turns 3 and 4. Hackle chasing after him in the second spot as they'll come back down across the line to complete lap number 2. Pat Ward sitting back there in third, a little distance back, and now the gap opens back up a little bit here. So Barker's legged out by about 4 or 5 car lengths over the Hackle Killer Crate number 97. They both take the bottom lane coming off turn number 4 here to the conclusion of lap number 3. Staying right about one groove up from the inside hub through turns 1 and 2. The track really has not widened out as much as we expected yet, but it's got plenty of bite top to bottom as they are slinging the clay coming off turn number 4 here to the halfway point. So again, your race leader continues to be Barker with Hackle in second, Ward in third. There's Pat Ward, and a battle going on behind him for the number 5 spot here. That 5th spot being held by Brendan Laux. Michael Maresca trying to pull a crossover move on him here, perhaps on turn number 4. Can't get quite close enough to get alongside of him as they throw it back up into turns 1 and 2. Meanwhile, Rocky Warner, who had that little bit of drama and almost thought he was going to miss the heat race and have to start tail, well, he's put himself into a redraw position with 2 to go. He is in third, and not only he is in 4th, I should say, and he's looking for 3rd. He is not too far behind the 42 of Ward. Matter of fact, he's going downstairs here as your race leader Barker comes to the white flag. They're going to drag race down into turns 1 and 2. And Warner will get her done on the bottom lane off turn number 2. So he'll move into the number 3 position as the checkers will wave here off turn number 4. It's Alan Barker picking up heat number 1 for the Three Bastards Brewing 358 mods. Hackle grabs second with Warner nipping at his heels. Final redraw spot will go to the 42 of Ward, followed by Maresca in the 7MM, Laux in the 23, and the number 9 of Baker, followed by the 28G of Gould. That will be your field for our first Three Bastards Brewing modified heat race. Heat number 2 getting ready to roll out. Again, 8 laps the distance. Top 4 will redraw for starting spots. Mike Trochtold from Roscoe, New York, with the 28T coming from pole in this one. On the outside, in the BDR 12D or 12B machine, that is going to be the Addison Bowman entry. Randy Chantel with the number 97S, the plain black tee. Number 97S inside row 2. To the outside is York, New York's Justin Wright with the number 19. Third row on the inside out of Sprakers and the Hallmark 44. That is Stewie, as in Stuart Friesen. Tori Stoutinger with the 7S out of Phoenix outside that row. Then you have the Capra 34 of Kevin Rood out of Geneva, my hometown. Inside, outside, Jimmy Phelps out of Beeville with the number 98H, the J&B machine. And then the final row is Brandon Walters with the number 22. And late arrival tacked in, that'll be Aaron Jacobs with the red number 16 out of Frankfurt. Andy Graves Brandon Walters out of Unadilla. All right, so we are set to go. 10 cars. Top 4 finishers get to redraw for feature event starting spots as they'll rip down here through the start zone off turn number 4. And we are green. And that didn't last long because we've got a car in trouble here on the outside of turn number 1, or at the entrance to turn number 1, I should say. It looks like that might be Tori Stoutinger, and he's got some damage on that left rear, so there may have been some contact and some shenanigans as the field charged down into turns 1 and 2. So we'll be under the caution flag here for the moment while we get everything squared away. Again, tomorrow night at the Track of Champions, Fonda Speedway, we open up the 2024 campaign with all of our regular race divisions, plus the Mohawk Valley Vintage Dirt Modified Series. By the way, you need to set a reminder and alarm for this. We're starting 1 hour earlier at Fonda tomorrow. Pit gates open at 2. Racing starts at 6, not at 7, at 6 tomorrow night, because Ma Nature's going to try to do what she does best. I'm not saying the words out loud. We're going to beat her at her own game. Get you in, get you a show, get you home before you have to pick out that coat to keep the elements off you. There, I managed to get through it without saying the R word. Yay me. Yellow flag remaining out as they have hooked up the back end to Tori Stoutinger's machine. And by the way, I don't know if this is something that maybe Chris has mentioned or taken up, but the white tires on the inside of the track, I think it was photographer Mark Ranaletta that started referring to them on social media as a Tory tire. So that has kind of stuck now. Speaking of tires, he's going to need a new left rear and then some. You can see the damage done to the left side of a very nice looking number 7S machine. Ready for a restart. And again, no laps complete. So we're ready to get after it here as they come down off turn number 4. And we are back to green. And it's going to be Bowman charging in a track hold for the lead as they roll through turns 1 and 2. Good launch for Kevin Root, but better launch off the outside for Justin Wright. He'll move into the 3rd spot. Root sitting in 4th. Meanwhile, Stewie working the top groove here, coming off turn number 4. He's going to grab a couple of spots. It looks like going himself right up into a battle with Jimmy Phelps for the 5th position. Root, meanwhile, wheeling it on the inside off turn number 2 as the 19 machine of Wright hangs tough with them there in the top lane. Meanwhile, Stewart and Jimmy Phelps run the bottom lane off turn number 4. You can see they're closing right up on that battle for the 3rd and 4th positions as Bowman and Troxel continue to run in spots 1 and 2. 3 complete when they come by this time. 5 laps left to go. Race leaders back off turn number 4. Both cars get a little scrolled on. They're coming off turn number 4. All of a sudden they found a slick spot on the racetrack. Speaking of slick mover on the top lane, that would be Friesen attempting to get the run there to get by Kevin Root to get up into the redraw. Not successful with it yet. Drops it back down to the bottom here through turns 3 and 4 as we come to the halfway point. Oh, look at the run. The Hallmark number 44 gets now going down into turns 1 and 2. Again, going to stay on the bottom. He can hear the noise behind him, and that is that J&B sponsored number 98 of Jimmy Phelps, the 98H. Trucking along there. Oh, Stewie got a slick spot there in turn number 4, and that back end kicked out a little bit harder than he anticipated. And just that little bit of a loss of forward momentum allowed Jimmy Phelps to get a run on him. Then Phelps does the slip slide in turn number 2, and that allows Stewie to get away. 2 to go for your race leader, Addison Bowman, as he brings it off turn number 2. We continue to focus on the race here for the 4th and 5th positions. The final spot in the redraw between that FX Capra 34 of Kevin Root and the 44 of Stuart Friesen. Off turn number 2 for the final time, the BDR Speed number 12 B machine of Addison Bowman looks to be well on his way to a win here in the second heat for the Three Bastards Brewing Modifieds as he'll bring it across the line. Second spot going to track hold. Third will be right and holding on for the number 4 position in the final spot of the redraw. This heat race is Kevin Root. They're followed by Friesen, Walters, and then it looks like tucked in behind them, the rest of the field coming through. Behind Walters, that was Phelps with the 98H, so he had a little bit of an issue there. So that brings us to our final heat for the Three Bastards Brewing Modifieds. Pole sitter and winner here on Sunday, Superman Matt Shepard. The number 9S outside, Alex Yankowski in the 84Y out of Covington Township, Pennsylvania. And then it's Jamike Soul and Jessica Friesen, row 2, Tim Main, Matt Cabrera, row 3, Jeremy Slosik, Billy Decker, Andy Graves, and We Are Green. Oh, Yankowski flexing the muscle here for a moment, coming off turn number 2 with the lead, but it lasts as long as a blink as Shepard rockets underneath them and takes the number 1 spot now as they'll come down here off turn number 4. A little further back, Jessica Friesen running there in the 3rd spot with the 1Z. Feeling a little pressure now from the Franklin Flyer, Billy Decker, and the number 91 machine, and then the number 76 tacking in behind them. Jamike Soul taking over that ride for the 2024 season. The familiar Palmer Service Center colors on that car. There is Zemkin running 3rd with about a 2 to 3 car length gap over Decker as they race for position coming around through turns 3 and 4. Shepard pulling out almost a full straightaway advantage right now on Yankowski as they work off turn number 2 and head down the backstretch. Shepard lapping last lap at an 18.723. Yankowski's last lap a 19.2. That just gives you an idea as we hit the halfway point about how much speed Superman has under the hood of that. He's got the right kind of kryptonite in the engine compartment tonight. Yankowski still holding off Friesen in the race for 2nd and 3rd. And Jessica Friesen there with the blue 1ZT's machine, rolling in behind Yankowski, has gapped out a little bit from Billy Decker. So Decker right now is the final car that could get a redraw spot with 2 laps left to go. Shepard takes that HAS Westmoreland Golf Club sponsored car down into turns 3 and 4. He will see the white flag this time. Shepard trying some different lines, getting out of the black rubbered up slick stuff there in turns 1 and 2, looking for a little fresh bite. And he will come down here to the checkered flag and the win in our final 3 Bastards Brewing Modified Heat race of the evening. Yankowski will grab second, followed by Zemkin and Decker. They will go to the redraw. Race for the number 5 spot here. Give that one to Jamike Sowell over the Graves machine, and the rest of the finishers make their way across the line. And Matt Capera back there was a little further back there behind Jeremy Slosek. Tim Main, by the way, was the red number 8M. I want to make sure we acknowledge him.